Hi students, so this is your channel Bosons and I am KrishnenduKar. Today we will learn about a new topic which is called the law of addition of vectors. Okay, so the law of addition. Now the thing is there are basically three laws in addition part. Uh, But before we dive into that, we have to know why we have these laws, why we are dealing with these laws. Okay, so let's say this is a point, this is a point. We can go from point A to point B through various paths. Like you can go like this. Okay. You can also go like this, and you can also go like this in a straight line, which is the shortest path. Okay, and this path, this straight line path, is a type of vector. Okay, now here we are distinguishing between a carved path and a straight line path. But let's say we are going from point A to point B like this. Okay. So basically now the path is divided into two parts and both path is a straight line path, right? Let's give it point C. Okay. So what is the shortest path? Shortest path is still this one, right? This one is the shortest path. So there are two individual vector paths from A to C and C to B. But if we were asked that what is the vector path between A to B, then that will be this one, right? A to B. This one is the vector path between A to B. But there are other two vector paths which are A to C and C to B, right? So we can say that these two paths resultant is this one, and here we have the triangle law of addition. Here we have the triangle law of addition. Let's say this one is vector A, this one is vector B, and this one is vector C. Okay, so triangle law says that vector A plus vector B gives the resultant vector C, or you can say vector AC plus vector CB gives the resultant vector AB. Okay, in carved section we can assume that this one, the shortest path, is the vector path. But if suppose someone is taking a path like this, okay, someone is taking path from A to B like this, so what is the actual vector path then from A to B? The resultant vector path, that is C. So how can we measure that? How can we measure that? For that we have the triangle law of addition, which says that A plus B equals to C. but it is not just A plus B equals to C. It is vector A plus vector B equals to vector C. And you have to remember that this one is a vector, not its magnitude. Okay, you have to remember that very carefully. Now we have another law. Let's say this is a point and you applied force on this point. Maybe, or you applied force like this. Okay. Maybe the sum of the force applied can have its impact in this direction and some can have in this direction. Let's say, okay, suppose. So, these two both are vectors individually. But what is their resultant vector? If we were asked that what was the actual resultant force, then how can we measure that? Okay. How can we measure that? We can measure it by another law which is called Parallelogram Law of addition, which says, let's say this one is A vector, this one is B vector, this is O point, this is A point, this is B point. It says if there are two vector whose initial points are the same, then its resultant will be like this, in this direction. We don't know the actual direction. You can measure it. Let's say this angle is alpha. Let's say this angle is alpha, and from A to B, the angle between A to B is theta. Okay, so from parallelogram law of addition, we can say, this one is C vector. A plus B equals to C vector. A plus B equals to C vector. Okay. So this is the parallelogram law of addition. Now let's measure what is the resultant, or let's say what is the magnitude of the resultant. Like we can't always calculate the vector part of resultant. Okay, we need magnitude. So to calculate that, we have a process. So let's learn that. And another thing, let's say we learned in the previous video that the parallel shifting of any vector does not change anything in it. The parallel shifting of any vector does not change anything in it. Okay? So let's say this is A vector, this is B vector. So basically in the parallelogram law, what we are taking as C vector was actually the diagonal of a parallelogram. Okay, that's why it's called the parallelogram law of addition of vectors. Okay, so the angle between vector A and vector B is theta. The angle between the resultant and vector A is alpha. Okay, let's expand this one. Let's expand OA. Let's expand OA. Okay, and draw a perpendicular from point B on OA. Expanded OA, let's say. So this one is D. Now, what is this angle? What is this angle? This one is theta. Theta. We know that these two are parallel. Okay, so this, if this is a theta and this will be a theta. So we know about parallel shifting, right? So if this is B vector, we can write that this one is also B vector, right? Okay, and okay, fine. Now, what is B? Now, what is B vector? Or let's just say, what is AD vectors? Okay, what is AD? AD, or let's simplify it more. Let's say cos theta from this one. Okay, here cos theta is AD by B. We are taking the magnitudes. Okay, here we are taking the magnitudes. From this we can write that AD equals to B cos theta. From sin theta we can say BD divided by B. From this we can write BD equals to B sin theta. Okay, let's take from triangle OBD, from triangle OBD. OB, we are taking the magnitudes. Okay, we are not taking the vector part, we are taking the magnitudes part. Okay, because we are measuring the magnitude of the resultant, not the resultant vector. So OB square equals to, we can write OA plus AD whole square, this one, and BD square. Now we know that the magnitude of OA is just A. The magnitude of AD is B cos theta. The magnitude of BD B sin theta. Okay, now it is simple algebra. Okay, just simple algebra. So A square 2AB cos theta plus B square cos square theta. Here B square sin square theta. So if we take B square common, then we have cos square theta plus sin square theta, and we know that sin square theta plus cos square theta equals to 1. You know that, right? So A square B square into 1, which is B square plus 2ab cos. Now, what is the vector or the magnitude of OB? That is C, right? We have C square, and if we take the square to this side, we will have a root over, right? So C or the resultant, this one is the resultant, this one is the resultant, is a square plus b square plus 2ab cos theta. Very important for basics. Now let's measure the angle. Let's measure this angle. Okay. So tan alpha. To measure the tan alpha, we have to take BD by OA plus AD, right? OA plus AD. So from here we can say BD is B sin theta, OA is A, and AD is B cos theta. So basically alpha equals to tan inverse B sin theta by A plus B cos theta. We can write it like this, or we can write it like this. No, the correct. Okay. So this is the resultant between two vectors. I will not repeat the same thing again and again. Please stop or pause the screen and take screenshots or note down the whole note. Okay, don't miss out anything. Don't just listen. Okay, so let's learn some cases and we'll move on to the next law. Let's take some cases. Okay, case 1. If theta is 0 degree, so if theta is 0 degree, what will be the value of the resultant? What will be the value of the resultant? We all know that what is the value of cos theta? If the theta is 0, what is the value of cos 0 degree? The value of cos 0 degree is 1, right? So 2ab multiplied by 1, so that is 2ab. Let's take another case, then we will come to a conclusion. Let's take another case. If theta is 180 degree, then what will happen? A square plus b square plus, now what is cos 180 degrees value? That is minus 1. The value of cos 180 degree is minus 1. So 2ab will be multiplied with minus 1. So the value will be a square plus b square minus 2ab. Now which one is bigger or greater in value? This one or this one? Obviously this one, right? So when this is happening, when this will happen, theta is 0 degree. What does it mean? This means both of the vectors are in same direction. Like A vector is in direction, B vector is also in same direction. Okay, both of the vector is in the same direction. What will happen in this case? What will happen in this case? This is basically the exact opposite, right? So in this case, both of the vector will be in exactly opposite direction. In this case, both of the vectors will be in exactly in opposite direction, right? The angle between them will be 180 degree. The angle between them will be 180 degree, and in this case, the angle between them is 0 degree. Okay. Okay. So let's move on to the next law, and the last law of addition, which is the polygon law. Basically, you can see that every law is a variation of that triangle law of addition, right? This one, this one. This is A, this is B. This is C. You are saying that A plus B equals to C vector, right? This one you are calling this the parallelogram law of vector. Now, if we shift this vector parallelly to this position, this will be A. I don't know that this both are parallel or not, but let's assume that. Okay, so this will be A. Now what is this law? B, A, C. So the value will be same. Now this is the triangle law of addition. Okay, so from here, polygon law of addition. Let's take a polygon. This one is the opposite direction. Let's say this one is A vector, B vector, C vector, D, E, F, G. This one is H vector. Okay. So from these two, we can say what will be the resultant vector? A vector plus B vector, right? A vector plus B vector is the resultant vector. This is the triangle law in this direction. Okay. So this is the resultant vector. And from here to here, what will be this resultant vector? This resultant vector will be A vector plus B vector plus C vector. Like this, you can say A vector plus B vector plus C vector. It will repeat itself, right? Plus D vector plus, this is the common formation, plus F vector plus G vector. And it will stop in that position, equals to H vector. So the resultant vector of these vectors are H vector. Okay. This is the polygon law of addition. Now let's do a basic problem. See, we are just learning the basics, very basics, right? We haven't done any critical problems, we haven't done any IIT or NEET level problems yet, right? But we'll do that after finishing our concepts. Okay. Okay. So let's do a math. Two vectors having same magnitude A makes an angle theta with each other. Find the direction of their resultant. Find the direction of their resultant. So how we will do that? Let's say two vectors with same magnitude. The angle between them is theta. Tan alpha equals to A sine theta by A plus A cos theta, right? So what will be the angle between them? If we take common from this side, and we know the formula of sine 2 theta, right? Which is 2 sine theta and cos theta. If we take it like this, sine 2 theta by 2, and if we take it like this, 1 plus cos 2 theta by 2, then A will get cancelled, and 2 sine theta by 2 cos theta by 2 by 1 plus cos 2 theta. What is the formula of 1 plus cos 2 theta? That is 2 cos square theta, right? 2 cos square theta. So this will be 2 cos square theta by 2, 2 cos square theta by 2, right? So here we can cancel 1 cos theta by 2 from this, and 2, 2, okay. From that we will have left sine theta by 2, and in the denominator we will have cos theta by 2, right? And from here we will have tan theta by 2. We started from tan alpha, and in the end we have tan theta by 2. From here we can say alpha equals to theta by 2. So the angle of resultant is theta by 2 with respect to a vector. Okay. So this is the problem. So this was the whole topic of law of additions of vectors. Now we'll learn the subtraction between the vectors. But the thing is, we will do the subtraction with help of this addition laws. So let's see. Let's say A and B are two vectors. A vector, B vector. Now we have to measure or calculate A minus B. Basically, this is the subtraction. But we will do the subtraction A minus B by adding vector A and vector minus B. Now, what is the vector minus B? Right? We learned that. Okay, this is the negative vector of B vector. Which one? This one. This one is the minus B vector. Now, if we do A plus minus B, what will be the resultant? So, the resultant, according to the parallelogram law of addition, the resultant will be this. This one is A plus minus B, right? Let's say we are adding just A plus B vector. So what will be the resultant? What will be the resultant of A plus B? This one, right? This one would have been the resultant of A plus B. Now let's draw a parallelogram. Now, if we shift this vector, I mean A plus minus B vector, parallelly to here, you can see that this one is the A plus minus B vector. So, what does it mean? This means that if a diagonal of a parallelogram represent A vector plus B vector, then the other diagonal will represent A plus minus B. Okay, so basically if one diagonal represents the addition, other one will represent the subtraction. Okay, the subtraction will be represented by the other one, right? So this was the whole subtraction idea. Basically we do it in the addition way. We use the law of parallelogram, or say the law of triangle. Okay, so this is it. Take the screenshot or pause the screen to note it down. Okay, student, this is it for today. We will learn our next topic in the next video. So take the screenshot or pause the screen to note it down. Okay, so this is it for today. We will learn our next topics in the next video. Okay, students, so bye.